Shankaracharya Dhimate Adbhuta-Shaktye Namostadvaita Siddhanta Sthapanotapamurtaye Shri Harim Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Aparokṣānubhūti moksha-siddhaye saddhireva prayatnena vikṣaniya muhurmuhu. So we are doing the 34th sloka last time. Yasmat paramiti shrutya taya purusha lakshanam vinirnitam vimudhena katam syat dehakah puman. Now he has started after giving the replies to the objection that how can the body now not be the Atman. He has given a lot of logic, yukti for that. And now he is also showing that there is Shruti Pramanam also to show that the Atman is distinct from the body. For that, he has first taken up the Mahanarayana Upanishad Vakyam, Yasmat Param Naparamasti Kinchit Naniyo Najjayosi Kashchite, which is very famous in the Nakarmana Naprajaya mantra. So that part he has taken. And we were looking at the commentary for that sloka. So 1 or 2 lines are remaining. And we will finish that and then go over to the next sloka, 35. So here in this sloka, the meaning of the Shruti is Yasmat Param Na Aparamasti. There is nothing higher than that, and there's nothing lower than that. And then Kinchit Yasma Na Aniyo Na Jayosti Kashchite. So there is nothing that is subtler than that, nor that is something that is greater than that. Vriksha irastabdaha divitishtati ekaha tena idam purnam purushena sarvam. So this Atman, this Brahma Swarupam, is so firmly deep-rooted in the great cosmic creation that that alone is there in the creation, and all else is only subservient to it, in the sense all else is dependent on it. So in that sense, the Brahman alone is full, Purna. And the class in America. So that alone is Purnam, and that alone is everything is full of that only. So for that, we gave the example that if gold is taken to be the greatest all-pervading material, whatever material, all products of gold are full of gold only. Whether it is small item or big ornament, it is all full of gold only. In that way, Brahman alone is filling everything, and all else is a karyam of Brahman. In the sense, everything else is an effect of Brahman. So in that sense, it is said that tena idam sarvam, tena purushena idam sarvam purnam. So that Purusha, the Acharya wants to show some Vedic passages where the word Purusha is there, which denotes the Atman or Brahman. So for that, the first Shruti he has taken up is this one. There are two or three more Shrutis which are going to come up in the sequel. So here, the word Purusha means it is not some male or something like that. It is something which is called Purnatvat Purushaha. Since it is full, it is called Purushaha. Purishayanat Purushaha. Since that is the one which is residing in the Pura, that's the body, it's called Purushaha. Then Sarvam Puryate Anena Purushaha. So everything is full because of this. So that is also another Vyutpati. Vyutpati is some sort of etymological meaning given to a word. So these are all the etymological meanings people have earlier acharyas have given. Then, so this Shruti also very clearly says that everything in this creation is full of that Purusha only. That means that Purusha alone is the substratum of everything, and nothing can exist apart from the Purusha. That is the meaning here. So Taittiriya Shruti, that is, it's called Mahanarayana Upanishad in the Taittiriya Aranyaka. So that's why the commentator Acharya says it's Taittiriya Shruti. So then there is one portion remaining. Vinirnitam, Vicharya Sthapitam. So in the second line, it is said that by the Shruti, it has been very clearly, the Shruti establishes this fact very clearly that Purusha is this Brahman is the one which is full and which is distinct from the body. That is very, very clear here. Then Vimudhena Katham Syat Dehaka Puman. For that, he is going the meaning here. Anyat Puravat. Tadva Yadva Shrutya iti Kartapara. So here in the shloka, Yasmat Paramiti Shrutya Taya Purusha Lakshanam Vinirnitam. So that Shrutya, the word Shrutya is in the third vibhakti, that is called Tritiya vibhakti. It's called instrumental case in English. But then in Sanskrit, any vibhakti is will have several dimensions to it, and so different shades of meaning will be there, and they will be used in the commentaries and all that according to the need. So here, in the first instance, the Acharya has said, Shrutya iti karane tritiya. Karana means it is pure instrumental case. So in this case, Shrutya, by the Shruti, it has been very clearly said. So in this, by the instrument called the Shruti, it has been very clearly stated that the Purusha is the one who is the highest and everything is full. That is, the Purusha is distinct from the created universe, which is all Jada. This Purusha alone is consciousness. So that has been stated. So the Acharya is now giving a different shade of meaning to the word, same Shrutya, the word Shrutya. There is another Tritiya called Shrutya iti Kartrupadam. So now he is saying that the Shrutya is a Kartru. Kartru means the Shruti, the Shruti is not acting as an instrument. The Shruti is acting as the person, as a person who says this. So Shrutya iti Kartrupadam. Asmin pakshe vimudhena iti dehatmavadinam prati sambodhanam. So the Shrutya here, the sense which is brought out here is the Shruti is addressing this person. So an instrument cannot address a person. So here the Shruti is taken to be a person, the subject here. So the subject Shruti is addressing the person who is the Devatmavadin, who is the materialist, who is denying the existence of an Atman apart from the body, apart from the physical body. So for him, there is no such thing called the Atman which is beyond the physical body, and the physical body is all and everything, and that alone is a person's true nature. So that is their philosophy. So this Shruti is addressing him and saying, look, how can you make such a statement? How can you have such a notion? So it is censuring him. So that censuring is brought out in the commentary very clearly. Prati Sambodhana. Vimudhanam ina swamin. So here, see, this is very, very interesting to see this. In this sloka 34, in the second line, there is a word called Vimudhena. So Vimudhena normally means it is an instrumental case for the word Vimudha. So Vimudha is the word, a basic word, which is the Prathama Vibhakti. For that, Ramena, just like Ramena, Vimudhena. So here in the second interpretation, where the Shruti is addressing that person, this Vimudhena will not be correct, will not be making any sense. So the Acharya is giving a beautiful breakup of this word Vimudhena. So here he says, Vimudhanam ina swamin. So Vimudhena here, which means Vimudhanam ina. So here the sandhi is a samasa, and in this samasa there is a sandhi. So Vimudha plus ina will be Vimudhena. So Vimudha plus ina will be Vimudhena. There the samasa will have to be explained as the Vigraha Vakya for the samasa. It will be Vimudhanam ina. Ina means Swamin. That is, ina is something which is who is a lord, who is a leader or a lord. So we have that Inakula and all that. So Ina in that case will be Surya and all that. But in any case, Ina means here a leader or someone who is a foremost in that. So Vimudhanam Ina, that means you are the greatest, foremost of fools. You are the foremost of murkhas. So that is the way the Shruti is addressing him and saying that this Yasmat Param iti Shruti has very clearly established nature of the Atman or Brahman, which is distinct from the created inner world, when such is the case, how can you hold this view that there is nothing apart from the physical body? So that is the idea here. So Vimudhanam in Swami, there have been Vimudhena Murkha Shiromanitvadeva Shrutim na Adriyase iti bhavaha. So since you are the Murkha Shiromani or Murkha Shikhamani, you are not giving any honor or any importance to the Shruti. So since you don't have any importance to Shruti, naturally you won't be listening to what it says. So you are having your own concocted ideas about these things. So you are not caring for what the Shruti is, heeding to what the Shruti says about this. So with this, the 34th sloka is over. Commentary for that is over. Yasmat paramiti shrutya taya purusha lakshanam minirnitam vimudhena katham syat dehaka puman. How can this body be the Purusha? Purusha means Atman. So, next to 35th sloka.
Sarvam Purusha eveti sukte Purusha sangite apyuchyate yatashrutya katham syat dehaka puman. Sarvam, everything, Purushaha eva, Purusha alone, idi thus, sukte, in the hymn, Purusha sangite, named Purusha Sukta, api, also Uchyate, stated, Yataha, for, Shrutya, by the scripture, Katham, how, Syat, be, Dehakaha Puman, body as self.
So here the famous Purusha Sukta is taken here. So there the mantra, the Purusha Sukta portion which starts like Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapat, Sabhumin Vishwato Vritpa, Atitishtat Dashangulam. So after that comes the word, expression, Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yachabhavyam. So here that word is, that expression is very, very important for Vedanta. For Advaita also it is very important. So he is bringing out that, taking that example from the Shruti. Sarvam Purusha Eva iti Sukte Purusha Sannite. Purusha Sannita means the Sukta, which is called the Purusha Sukta, which is named Purusha Sukta, which is very famous as Purusha Sukta. It has been stated that Sarvam Purusha Eva. So Purusha Eva Idagam Sarvam. That is the exact way it comes in the mantra. Here that has been paraphrased this way. Sarvam Purusha Eva. Everything is Purusha only. Everything means all that we see, all that we experience is that Purusha only. So that is the very, very powerful statement it is. Api uchyate yataha shrutya katham syat dehaka puman. So the Shruti, this Shruti also says that everything is Purusha only. So when such is the case, how can this finite, how can this inert, limited, full of defects, that such a body can be the Atman? So here the Purusha Sukta has been highlighted here. So here the commentary the Acharya says, Na kevalam anaya ekaya shutya vinirnitam kintu anyaya api ityaha sarvamiti. So it is not just one Shruti which has been stated in the 34th sloka. The Shruti is giving us giving us the true nature of the Atman, which is distinct from the body. Even there is another Shruti also. Yato hetoho Shrutya Vedakya Paradevataya Purusha Evedagam Sarvam iti Purusha Sannite Sukte api Uchate. So here in this Purusha Sukta, the expression is Purusha Eva Idam Sarvam. So Idam is whatever we experience as this. So the subject is the Atman and the object is this. So the object is denoted by this. So everything means here the body-mind complex of the observer, which is included in the inner world. It is included in the created world, and the Atman alone is the uncreated observer consciousness. That is the subject here. So this subject is actually whatever we are observing is nothing but the subject only. So it ultimately amounts to saying the object is nothing but the subject. It is very, very strange to say that. How can the object be the subject? It can happen only in such a case where the subject alone is appearing as the object. So only in such a case, this statement can be made that the subject is the object is nothing but the subject, or the subject is all that is the object, can be made only when the object is something which is an appearance of the subject only. So it is something like saying the person who is standing before the mirror says that it is me only. So what I'm seeing in the mirror is me only. So that means that it is only an appearance. What he's seeing is only an appearance, and there is and that appearance is there only. If we take this analogy a little further to get some more technical meaning out of it, there is an appearance of the person who is standing in front of the mirror, and the mirror is the one which is capturing the person's image here. So the mirror is the mirror is the reflecting medium where the reflection happens. So the original is standing before the mirror. So the mirror is the reflecting medium. So here in the Dashtantika, the reflecting medium is the Maya, and the original is Brahman. And in Maya, reflecting medium, the image of Brahman is appearing, and that is appearing as the whole world, or the whole created world. So here, definitely we know that the image is not me truly, because when the mirror is removed, the image is gone. But I don't go away. So I remain. So, but then there is definitely some, even though there might be a very lot of resemblance with the image. Between the image and the original, still an image is an image, the original is the original. So you don't feed the image. If you are hungry, you feed yourself. So that is, such differences are there. So here also the Brahman is the only truth available, but then in the reflecting medium called Maya, there is a distortion of the original. So that distortion is seen as the world. And if someone mistakes the reflection to be the original, then he is doomed. So here, that's what has happened really. So here, this mantra very clearly says that all that you see here is nothing but the Purusha. That means all that you see here does not have an existence apart from this Purusha. So the Purusha is the Adhishtanam, which is the lender of the existence and shine for the creation. So the creation is inner. It doesn't have a shine by itself, nor does it have an existence by itself. It has to depend upon the original, that is Brahman, which is the Adhishtanam, which is substratum for its own existence and shine. Just like the superimposed snake has to depend on the original or the real rope there for its existence. So in the same way, here also, that's why this Purusha Sukta expression is very important for Advaita also. In other systems also, they will have to say that the world is dependent on the Purusha, but then they won't say it the same way that the Advaitans say. For them, they will have to make some compromises. But for us, without making any compromise, we can very clearly say that the Purusha Evedagam Sarvam. It is just like saying you have an array of ornaments in front of you, and if you tell someone that all this is gold, it is definitely not wrong. It is very correct. So you are superseding the ornament aspect of it, and you are giving the truth of it. So the truth of all the ornaments is actually gold only. The names and forms are differentiating one ornament from the other ornament, and they will have different utilities also. But that is not the one which a Tattvajnani is looking at. This Tattvajnani need not be the Advaitic Tattvajnani, Vedantic Tattvajnani. Even in the world, if someone wants to know the reality of something, he will go to the depth of it. He will go to the truth of it. So when he wants to see the truth of it, he will go beyond the differences and see what is the unifying factor underlying all these differences or variety. So when he makes such a statement that everything is gold, there's nothing wrong in it, and that is what is really needed also to see the tattva. That is why even in the Chandogya Upanishad, when it gives the three analogies of clay products, gold products, and iron products, the Shruti very clearly says that Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam Mritike Kyeva Satyam. So Mritika is the clay. So there may be a lot of clay products, but then the Shruti is not interfering in our Vyavahara. It doesn't say that you are wrong and all that. We can't do Vyavahara without differentiating between a saucer and a pot and all that. That difference is required for Vyavahara. But then the Shruti is making that statement in a scenario where you want to go beyond the Vyavahara and you want to see the truth. So that is what it is teaching them. So it says that the names and forms that you see or you experience, are actually not beyond any words. They are mere words only. But then if you want to see the truth in all of them, it is only the clay that is the truth. So then when you see the truth, that is the clay, the names and forms, they go to the background. So what is coming to the forefront is the tattvam or the upadana karanam or the material cause. So in the same way here also, Purusha evedagam sarvam, all that we experience, do vyavahara and all that is actually Purusha only. In some other, I think it's in Atma Bodha, the Acharya says that whatever we do vyavahara with, actually we are doing that vyavahara with Brahman alone, not knowing that it is Brahman. So that is the situation that we have to face and digest. So here in this commentary, the Acharya says, Purusha evedagam sarvam iti Purusha sannite sukte api uchyate. That is in the Purusha Sukta also, this has been said. Purusha lakshanam iti Pura Shloka Adhyaharaha. That is, in this previous shloka, there is the word Purusha Lakshana. That is, the Purusha Lakshana has been stated by the Shruti. That word Purusha Lakshana has to be supplied here also in this shloka, even though that is not here. That is not present in the shloka, we have to supply that. That's what the Acharya points out. Ataha katam syaditi purovate. So when such is the situation, when the Shruti itself is teaching us that the Atman is the Purusha is the Atman, which is pure consciousness, which is all-pervading. How can you hold that the body is the self? That is the idea. Next, Asanga Purusha.
Asanga Purusha Prokto Brihadaranyake Picha Ananta Mala Samslishtaha Katam Syad Dehakaha Puman. Asangaha, unattached. Purushaha, Purusha. Proktaha is said to be Brihadaranyake. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, api even, cha and Ananta Mala Samslishtaha, full of impurities. Katam, how, syat, be, dehakaha puman, body itself.
So the next shloka, that is next Shruti that is being paraphrased here is from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So there the Shruti is Asango Hyayam Purushaha. So that is the word, that's how it comes there. So the Purusha is Asanga, he is unattached with anything. So that is the special unique feature of Purusha, whereas everything in creation is attached to something or the other, and it is in bondage. Whereas in the case of the Atman or Brahman, it is not attached to anything. It can't be attached to anything. So for that, the Shastra gives us the analogy of the space. Space or ether, it will not attach to anything. Whereas the air or vayu, it will attach to the smell. It can attach to smell. Whereas or dust and things like that. Whereas the space will not attach to anything. So it is always pure. So that is the analogy which is given. But even in the case of the Akasha, even though it has the property of not getting attached to anything, still it is inert only because it is one of the Panchabhutas and it has got a beginning and end. So it can't be equated to the Atman. Only in some parts or in some aspects it can be given as an analogy, but it can't be a replacement to the Atman. Anyway, here, Asango Hyayam Purushaha Proktaha Brihadaranyake Picha. So in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this statement comes there. Ananta Mala Samshritaha. So in contrast to that, the body is full of impurities. So how can this body be the Atman? So this contrast is brought out very clearly here. The Atman is something which does not attach to anything, it is ever pure, whereas the body can never be pure because it is always full of, but inherently it is full of impurities only. So that is the idea here. So in the commentary, the Acharya says, Aparaya api shrutya evameva nirnitam ityaha. Another Shruti also brings out this fact alone. Asangaha iti. Asango Hyayam Purushaha iti Shrutya. Brihadaranyake Vajasneyopanishadi Purushaha Asangaha Proktaha. So in this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is also called Vajasneya Shaka, it has been stated very clearly that this Purusha, that is the Atman, is Asangaha. It doesn't have any attachment. It can't attach itself to anything. So Deha Kastu Ananta Mala Samshritaha, whereas the body is full of impurities. Ananta Mala. So there is no limit at all to the impurities that can happen. Especially when we consider the cases of body contracting diseases, then the impurities there will be very, very glaring. Even a small wound, it will start getting rotten, and bad smell will come from that wound, and also so many things are there. Then you can imagine things like cancer and things like that, some abscess or whatever happens in the body. Definitely it will have a lot of the impurities will come glaring to us, even though it may not be always there. In certain cases, in certain situations, it will be very, very it will highlight itself so well that we can't miss noticing it. So that is how it is. So Ananta Malasamshita Katam Puman Syat iti Purvapragvate. So as in the previous slokas, this question has to be asked again and reiterated again and again. So Mundiನ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಓದಿ.
तत्रैव च समाख्यातः स्वयं ज्योतिर्हि पुरुषः जडः परप्रकाशोऽयं कथं स्यात् देहकः पुमान्. तत्र, there again, एव, same, च, समाख्यातः, well said, स्वयं ज्योतिः, self-effulgent, he, verily, पुरुषः, पुरुषः, jadaha, inert, paraprakashya, illumined by other, I am this, katham, syat, how be, dehakaha, body, puman, self.
So in the Brihadaranyaka itself, another very prominent statement is there, which says, Swayam Jyoti, Atrayam Purushaha Swayam Jyoti. So there it's very interesting that the question comes up there that how does this man do all his vyavahara? He goes, he comes, he does this, he does that, and all that. How does all this? How do all these things happen when the body alone we see as doing all these things, but everybody knows that the body is inert. And how is this activity happening? For that, the question itself is so very nice there. In which light this body is doing all this? So you will all know the Ekashloki Shloka of Paramatpada, where in a guided manner, the disciple is led to the realization that he is the Jyoti, he is the Jyoti which enables everything to happen with regard to all our Vyavahara. So here also this statement says that I am Purusha Swayam Jyoti, to show that the Atman is self-effulgent. The case of the dream is taken up here. So in the waking state, one can say that all this Vyavahara is taking place because of the sunlight or the moonlight or some other light, electric light or whatever light. So in that light, everything is happening. But then the fact that everything is happening in the light of the Atman cannot be highlighted or brought to the fore in the waking experiences as clearly as it is possible in the dream state. So in the dream state, the person is lying down on his bed. His indriyas have stopped working. His eyes are closed. His ears are not working. His touch is also has receded to a very great extent, and all the 5 indriyas are not working at all, and the karma indriyas also are not working. So in such a case, he is having a dream. So in the dream, he sees everything just as he would see or experience the waking. And actually, while dreaming also, he has the feeling that it is all waking only. So the Shruti wants to cash in on this situation where he has an experience, but that experience is not had in the light of the sun or the moon or any outside external light. So here there is only one internal light, and that light, the Shruti very clearly says that is the Atman, is the Atman light. So it is in the Atman's light that this person is experiencing this dream. So the dream is something which is happening in his mind, and the mind is illumined by the Atman as the Sakshi. So the Atman is the one, is the light with which everything is happening. So in the waking state also, this is how it is happening, but then it is not possible for the Shruti also to show that the Atman is the light for the waking state, for the waking experiences as clearly, as convincingly as it can be shown in the demonstrated in the dream state. So the Shruti adopts the dream state, and through that it shows very clearly that the Atman is Swayam Jyoti. So in the waking state, I can say that okay, I am doing all these things in the light of the sunlight or in the moonlight and all that. Whereas in the dream state, he can't say that because this external light is not available to him there. So he has to accept that he is the light with which everything else is happening. So that is the idea of that or the purport of that Shruti Vakya. So here the Acharya says, Tatraiva Anya Prakarenapi Dehatmanoho Vailakshanyam Nirupitam Ityaha Tatraiva iti. So we'll take up the next few lines commentary in the next class. We will end this session here. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Aparokṣānubhūti Prochyate Moksha Siddhaye Sadhireva Prayatnena Vikshaniya Muhurmuhu Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vikaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tatvajnam Vidushekara Bharati Om Tatsat.